और आज हम जिस टॉपिक पे बात करने वाले हैं उसके बारे में मैं आपको बता दूं, आपने टाइटल में देख ही लिया होगा, यू मे हैव सीन द टाइटल. इट्स कॉल्ड स्टॉप बीइंग अ pushover. So this is what happens, guys, when we are overclouded with fear, when so much of fear voices is running inside our brain and is telling us, what, we might get COVID, we might get sickness, we might get disease, we might get corona, and we may die, which is natural for every human being to think, or most of the human beings to think, because our brain is overly negative. And if we cough a little bit, if there's a bit of a throat infection happening, a bit of a fever happening, just naturally, which you have been used to in the past, but all you can think about, in that moment for most people is that, what, do I have corona? So coming back, when our mind is filled up with fear, our judgment, can be jeopardized. Our judgments can have a cloud, and we might not be able to make the best decisions of our life. So this is recommended that if you can, take help. If you are your only help, God bless you. Take help, on this journey. People you rely on, people you think who have got strong willpower. You think they have got a great attitude. You think, what, they are more learned, more educated, more intelligent, more brave than you are. And that's what all human beings need. We need to hear it from other people. Like my mentor, infuses the energy inside me. Trust me, the way you look at me on this camera is not what I am all the time. I get fear and doubts. I've got this clouds, of worries coming into my life and thinking, what, is this going to work out? Am I going to get out of this phase? Will I ever get back to doing events? All that stuff. But getting pushed, also actually brings a lot of creativity in your life. There's so much of things, I've created in the last, I would say, month and a half. I would have never thought I've created, just because I'm pushed to a corner, I'm finding new ways to do things. So coming back, okay, if you have insecurity, inside you, which you can sense and feel, you don't have to ask anybody. You sense it, you feel it. Then be aware of it and get help, from people. And by the way, if you are a pleaser, you would like to please every human being on planet Earth, then I think you are on a wrong journey, my friend. Yes, you heard me correct. You can never ever please anybody. And if you are taking notes, then you can write this down, that on an average, 25% people would not like you. Doesn't matter. For whatever reason, your hair is too short, your hair is too long, your hair is too black, your hair is too brown, you are too thick, you are too thin, you are too tall, you're too short, you speak too fast, you speak very slow, your eyes are bad, your nose is shit, XYZ. So there is close to 25% people, maybe a few percentages more, it's a research, okay? They won't like you for whatever reason. But if the majority likes you, go with it, and do what you have to do. If you are on a journey to please everybody, you have heard me before, I think you're on a wrong journey. You can never ever please anybody. People hate God, Irony of life. Now, how do you know, sometimes that you are getting, clouds of judgment? When you start telling lies to people, especially people who matter in your life, maybe your wife, your family, maybe your colleagues and your teammates, you just want to keep up a face, so you lie so that you can get away. And that's a very bad situation to be in. That means, either you're insecure or you have these pushover happening in your life where, you're getting worries and judgment about the fears you have in your life. So those are the signs, All right. Find a way, to let go of your insecurities. If you want to come out of that cloud of judgment, and if you want to really, have clarity in your life, then this is the recommendation, that find a way to let go of your insecurities. One of the exercises, I can suggest is that you can write it down. Just journaling is a very healing process. If you just write it down, these are the fears I'm getting, this is the talks it's coming into my mind. It will let go of, a lot of your emotions which are not serving you. You will be able to release it. That's a beautiful thing. Journaling is a great thing. And then reach out to a friend or family member, I've already said, or to a mentor, who you look up on and you got access to them, or listen, to their virtual recording. If you're not too close to them, if they're too big shot and you don't have the funds right now to afford their coaching or mentoring, then just listen into whatever recordings, you can get access to. By the way, having a goal actually gives you a sense of purpose, gives you a sense of deadline, gives you an urgency to finish things on time, and that's a good thing to happen. So have a goal, and goal is something which is realistic, something which will stretch you. It will keep you accountable. So goal setting would be great, right now. And whatever you want to call it, if you don't want to call it goal, just call it a target. Don't get caught up in the word. You got to be aiming for something. If you're not aiming for anything, then you're aiming for everything. And if you're aiming for everything, you will not be able to hit anything in life. So if you aim for certain things, your chances of getting closer is much higher. Even if you don't hit the target, you get close to the target, and that's a great thing to happen. and be okay to say no to people. Saying no to people doesn't mean that you don't like them, you don't love them, you don't care for them. Saying no to people means, you know what, that I love you, I want to be honest with you, and this is my bandwidth. Everybody has a bandwidth. You have certain number of hours you can work in a day. Doesn't matter who you are. We all human beings need to have some rest, even if it's 4 or 5 hours. We all need to regenerate by, I don't know, watching a bit of a comedy here, maybe, for people it is a movie, maybe spending time, like for me with daughter, or just going out in the garden, doing something like gardening for 1 hour. We need all that. If you sit on a laptop for like 12, 14, 16 hours, and if you don't move, if you don't take up breaks and here and there, you can have some back problems. Your body can couch like that. So coming back, be okay to say no to people, because we all have a limit, and then you have to draw the limit and say, you know what, that's it. Beyond this, I cannot work. Say it in a nice way. Push people back if they're coming too much close to you. You got to have your space, in life.